Ukon.
Hi everyone, this is Nick from Domazet Gaming, and today we're going to be talking about Gears Tactics and also comparing it to the best games in this genre. Just FYI before we begin, this is a strategy game set in the Gears of War's universe. However, if you're wondering, you don't have to play any of the previous titles in the franchise from the storyline perspective. This game is set before the first Gears of War game, and you follow the story of Gabe Diaz, a semi-retired COG soldier who has taken a demotion and is not in a good standing with the COG. But then D-Day happens and Locust appeared and he gets recruited by the leader of the COG and helping him to hunt down the leader of the Locust, which was believed that he was the leader at the time, named Ukon. Now the story is fairly simple. You go about trying to hunt down Ukon, and on your way you will recruit characters who will help you achieve your goal. Story is simple and straightforward. It is definitely a classic old age story of let's hunt down the big bad guy and kill him. There is a bit of mystery, betrayal, and I found the story good and engaging. Nothing really that stands out, which is hard to do in a prequel because you really kind of know what's going to happen in the future and what's going to happen, and yeah, you can't expect an amazing story out of a prequel, at least in my opinion. Now moving away from the story to graphics, and the game does look good, it runs smoothly, and I love that it still keeps that Gears of War art style and just that feel of a Gears of War game, even though it's a strategy game. Now of course, this being a strategy game, don't expect next gen mind-blowing graphics with ray tracing, but it's definitely well polished and designed game with pretty graphics at times. Now gameplay is where this game for me does stand out. It's challenging, makes you think, and constantly keeps you on your toes. But at the same time, it doesn't overwhelm you with all the tactical info. Anybody can jump in and play it, which is great. I found a game like XCOM 2 gets a bit too complicated, but that's all down to personal preferences, of course. Now combat is turn-based. You control a group of 4 units at a time, which are fully customizable and split into classes. Each unit gets action points in which they move or use actions like shoot, grenade, or class abilities, which we'll talk about later. Here, it's all about movement, getting units behind cover and in position to attack, flanking opponents, and really being strategic. And it's brilliant, well thought out gameplay, and when you get it right and pull off a clean mission, it's so rewarding. You feel like a master tactician. Now the game is structured into 3 acts, with numerous missions, the different types of missions you'll be doing, and each act has a big boss fight in the end, which will really stand out to this game. The boss fights are really cool, and it's definitely something that I wish was so more in games like XCOM and other games of the genre. I think this is what Gears of War Tactics does very well. Now missions are good, however they are very repetitive. There's no uniqueness here, which is disappointing besides the boss fights, as I said. I expected the main story missions to give different challenges or be unique, to let's say a side mission. Now, while we're talking about side missions, they can't be skipped, which honestly started to get me as I was playing. I feel side missions have been added to the game just to try and make it longer. They're all the same, even on the same maps, and become plain out boring. And but I mean the same, there is different types of missions like rescue, etc., but you're doing the same thing. This to me was one of the biggest issues with the game. Not being able to skip side missions was just plain irritating once you get to the last act. It's like, I've had enough side missions, I'm going to finish the game. Now once you complete the game, there's an end game called veteran mode, in which you can continue fighting and leveling your characters and collect legendary gear. How it works, you have to do a few side missions again to get to the veteran mission, in which they have tougher modifiers and much better gear. Now this is a neat feature, but again, my only problem is those side missions again, and then become just not fun, and then I just lost interest. Now, last thing I want to speak about is character progression. Now you have 4 heroes, which are set characters you use, and then on top of that you can recruit new soldiers as the game's gone, and those soldiers you recruit are fully customizable from appearances to everything. Max level is 10 for the game, and there are 5 classes which, as I said, are come with a quite customizable skill tree, which is honestly brilliant. And there's so much variety to this tree that you can have the same 2 characters, same 2 classes, they will play completely differently, which is just really nice. Now as you play, you will come across chests and missions, which will reward components to upgrade your weapons. So all of these components, each weapon has 4 components that can be completely upgradable, and they vary from blue to purple, and then legendary, which is like gold. This all put together can really make your characters unique, and gives you a lot of abilities to customize your team and strategy who to bring for missions, which gives the game a lot of depth. For example, there's a type of mission in the game where you need to go and fetch boxes while being marked and chased by these bombs, and as your characters move each turn, the bombs come closer to you. Now for this mission, obviously you want fast close combat characters that can cover ground and do high damage up close, and this is where really the game shines. The gameplay is absolutely brilliant, and I love the strategy and this depth and customization in the game. Now overall, Gear Tactics has its issues with side missions, which get frustrating, but you do forget about it eventually once you're inside the mission, because gameplay, character customization and progression all put together with brilliant gameplay just make this so much fun. But how does a game like this compare, probably the most successful game in this genre, which is XCOM 2? Because it'll always be compared to this, so I just want to get it out there and get it over with. In my humble opinion, quite well. I find XCOM 2 to be the Rolls Royce of these games. It has more features, it is more strategic and complicated, where Gear Tactics is kind of the light version of it, and it really hits a sweet spot for me. It's easier to get into, and you don't have to manage so many things at once. For me, this was much more enjoyable actually than XCOM 2. And I'm not saying it's better, but for a more casual fan of these games, I like Gear Tactics a bit more. It just gives you that freedom to just get in there and play and have fun, where a game like XCOM is highly, I think, more strategic. But in the day, I would really highly recommend this game, and yeah, definitely a buy for me, and I hope you get it. Please let me know in the comments, what do you think? Do you enjoy this game? And how do you compare it to XCOM 2, for example, or any other games in the genre? Hey guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. It really helps us a lot. And I will see you in the next one.